Hi everyone, this is Alvin over at Contender Bicycles here in Salt Lake City in Park City, Utah. I'm here to talk to you today about the all-new Trust Performance, the Message Fork. So just as an overview, today we're going to be talking more about the general technology behind this fork, why it's so effective, and our initial riding impressions that we found from both Trust as well as our short ride overall. If you're looking for more tech and setup information, feel free to check out our blog that we'll link in the description below. Now, when I first saw photos of the Message Fork, the first thing I thought about was a Lauf cycling fork. And in essence, they're both really similar in that they both put the loads that this wheel might experience behind the steering axis of the bicycle. The difference with the Lauf fork is that it's a much more simple composite leaf spring, while here you're getting suspension kinematics that are going to be tuned by Dave Weigel himself, who is behind a number of the most important suspension designs that we've seen the past decade and even further beyond that. Now, as a quick overview, the Message Fork features two dampers on each side housed in a one-piece carbon composite chassis. You'll find that there is going to be air valve adjustment on each side that needs to be matched upon initial setup, and on the drivetrain side, you'll also find that there's going to be compression adjustment as well as rebound adjustment. Up top, you'll also find that there's a 3-position lockout of sorts that gives you an open, medium, and firm compression setting. Additionally, they say that this fork will work with both 29-inch wheels, 27.5 plus wheels, as well as 27.5 standard wheels, again depending on suspension travel your bike is designed for. At 1,980 grams, this fork is about the same weight as what you'd find from a Fox 36, and it's about 300 to 400 grams heavier than what you'd find from a Fox 34 step-cast telescoping fork. Another cool thing about this fork is that because it uses dampers instead of bushings, Trust claims that service intervals only need to happen every 250 hours, which is about 5 times longer than that of a standard telescoping fork, and good enough for a year's worth of riding time, and even then some depending on how much riding you actually do. And that leads us into perhaps the most interesting claim that Trust makes about this fork. They have this exercise where if you ride no-handed with a cup of coffee in your hand straight into a curb, that not only will you continue to keep tracking straight over the curb, but you won't drop your cup of coffee. And while we were skeptical as to the benefits of that exercise, we got really antsy and decided to take it out on the trail to see how effective this fork really was. Now, one of the interesting things about that curb exercise that Trust claims is that it allows the fork to just kind of float over straight-on imperfections much more easily than what you'd find from a telescoping fork. Another thing that Trust claims on the trail with this fork is that because it uses this one-piece carbon chassis, that it's much better at allowing you to pump through corners and carry speed than with a standard fork. Unfortunately for us, the trails around here in Salt Lake City are still drying out from all the snow, so we haven't been able to completely validate all these claims that Trust makes. However, in our short period of time on the trail, we were able to see that some of these claims could totally be true. We definitely liked what we saw from this, and we're really interested, more than anything, to take this fork back out on the trail to see what's true and what's not about this fork. Now, if Trust claims are true, this very well could be the future of mountain bike suspension forks as we know it. They say that nothing approaches this fork's level of control and precision out on the trail, and we see that this totally could be true. We just need to get it out on the trail some more. That's it, everyone. If you have any questions about suspension setup or tech behind the Trust Message Fork, check out our blog post in the link below. Additionally, you can give us a call at either of our shops during business hours, or visit our website at contenderbicycles.com, or send us an email anytime to info@contenderbicycles.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media too. Thanks.